Well, a party of heroes. Welcome back to Shoreshack Adventures. Last week, what did we do last week?
Last time on Shoreshack Adventures, Namina and Sparkmaster Flash set out just among themselves just to clear their heads from the night before. They both traveled their own separate ways through Ironton. Namina met with a young woman, a barmaid of sorts, and he's looking for a black market to try to find out more information regarding the whereabouts of others, perhaps like him. Sparkmaster Flash found where Siddle was and questioned him as to why he had been harassing the party. Siddle explains to Sparkmaster Flash that Xander has stolen something and that they are merely just the means to recover it. When the two meet up, Namina is dancing wildly across the floor. It appears he has discovered what the local beverage, the Monkey Shot, will do to you. Once everyone was back together again, Xander, Namina, and Sparkmaster Flash were going to go into town to do a little bit of shopping. Xander, leaving Sonia behind with Conan to guard, decided it was best that if he tried to get Cecil released from jail. After speaking with Cecil and coming up with an agreement that Cecil and Siddle would not harass him for 4 months' time. In that time frame, he needed to convince them that he was not the one that they were after. Xander agreed to this and promised that he would speak to Elamar regarding his release. In the meantime, Sparkmaster Flash, Namina, and Xander went to visit the Black Market of Ironton. There, Namina was inquiring as to where a person would go to find other people for sale. Learning about a contact in Alabast by the name of Doug, Namina, now fitted with this newfound knowledge, has a new quest. Perhaps he will find his missing parents in Alabast. So let's continue with this motley crew on their adventures in Shoreshack.
Ah, thank you, Xander. What an excellent bard he is. Now,
he is indeed.
The party did, the new members of the party did discover the wonders of the Monkey Shot. And Siddle and Cecil did agree with Xander not to mess with him for potentially 4 months. We'll see if that happens. And that's where we'll pick up. The black market escapade had gone on. You all have come together doing whatever business you all do together, have broken off once again. Namina, you will find yourself with Sparkmaster, the newest 2 additions of this crew. It has been labeled both the Boar Boys and the Heroes of Ironton, as well as a few other names that you might not completely wrap your head around. And that's where we'll pick up on today's episode of Shoreshack Adventures.
I will sharpen my axe on my enemy's face.
Hello, Sonia, my love.
Hey, where's that gold at?
What are we doing here, man?
Jesus, Jehoshaphat! Where did this fucking hat come from?
Come on, Conan. Let's go.
It feels good to be back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Make surfboards with my bunyip.
Shall I play you a tune?
I don't even care about the gold anymore.
All right. Now, I got to love those little excerpts. Some of those are over a year and a half old. Actually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
They all came from live episodes.
I'm starting to pick up on those. I didn't notice the first time I played it. It was all over my head, and now like I'm picking out those voices. I'm like, huh.
That was super.
In the mention of the bunyips, you thought monkey shots were fun. But
Okay.
this week, we're going to start off with you all walking the street. Give us a little description of how you look this afternoon after everything that's gone down, how you carry yourself, and what you smell like.
Well, I think I would be walking down, still wrapped up in my normal leather garments, not particularly armor, but garments.
Let's dive into a little bit of detail there. Let's go from head to toe. What does your character look
I look like it's black, all black fur, normal, but all the garments and straps that he wears are black as well. He has two black straps going kind of like down onto the side, kind of crossing the chest, like from shoulders to like lower pecs, and then from there it's another 3 bands of leather straps, and then from there it's like a black cloth covering the waist, kind of down to like the thigh, up to kind of coming up to the mid thigh of this other leg, and then kind of having more leather straps going down his legs, and kind of making like Greek sandals that he wears. I don't even know if he really needs sandals, but like they're like straps going down to where sandals would be. So, and he smells perfectly fine because he bathes himself all the time.
Of course. I mean, with a cat's tongue.
Yeah, that's right.
So drapery and leather straps.
Yep.
How do you smell to the passerbyers?
I smell like cat saliva. I don't know if it's particularly a good smell, but it's not. I'm indifferent to it myself, and that's pretty much all I care about.
It is better than cat piss. All right, Sparkmaster, walking with Namina. Let's go ahead and give you the same kind of description. Be very detailed in the apparel, as this kind of sets your look for future episodes.
So I am still dressed in the outfit I was given prior to our arrival at the Black Market, where the rest of the party decided I looked too good in order to make an entry. So I'm still kind of dressed in these rags. There is a hood over my head. The rags are brown. I'm wearing a lot more clothes than I normally would. My armor is fully covered. I have grime and dirt suggesting that I'm way less bathed than I actually am, because I also managed to bathe in the morning. I'm not giving off too much of an odor. Just, your normal dragonborn lizard-like smell if you get very close, but we don't sweat, so we don't have any BO or anything like that. And I am wearing my normal boots that I would have worn, but all in all, I'm draped in a lot more outfit than I normally would be wearing.
As you guys are pushing through the streets of Ironton, you get looks every once in a while, finger points. Nothing unusual to you, Sparkmaster. Nothing unusual to you, Namina.
Yeah.
Nothing strikes you as odd. The town is still here. Let's say it is roughly 4 p.m. You're walking down. Find a thing. Let's just pick a thing you want to do, Namina. Let's have a skill check involved in it, or that's the goal. It doesn't have to be a short thing, a long thing. But pick somebody else to do it with. It could be either Sparkmaster or someone else on the street. And hey, look, there goes Xander, you see, fraternizing with some young ladies over there in the corner. You feel free to include him or not.
I look over and I see Xander, of course he's serenading some ladies, that kind of, ooh, that man. And I look over at Sparkmaster and I say, hey, you want to play some darts?
I would love to play some darts.
So, and I kind of nod over to I try to make eye contact with Xander, see if he's, if I can get his attention by looking at him. Just to wave and get his attention, just so he knows that, we saw him and that he's okay, cool. All right, I got you. And I'd like to see maybe if me and Sparkmaster could play some darts at a near tavern if they have them available.
Yeah, you look around. There's a guy just gets booted out of a.
Sparkmaster will play darts on one condition: there's no monkey shots involved.
Dang, man. You can't do that to me. That would be the best thing ever.
You guys walk by a bar. Some guy gets booted out. His legs are still kind of twitching and kicking. He's on the ground, a little roughed up, cross-eyed drunk, but his body's dancing. And you see darts tournament. Loser, 5 monkey shots.
Oh, boy. That sounds... I look at that and I say, nope. Let's go to a different one.
You're able to find a bar, a little kind of an outdoor, maybe game venue, more like a fairground thing, where some young kids are practicing darts with their eyes kind of big at what's happening at that official darts tournament. But this is a more casual, gamey atmosphere.
That sounds like something more up our alley, I guess. So I'd like to play with you if you're willing to do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So let's play some darts then.
All right.
Inside.
What is that, Sparkmaster?
Are we outside or inside at this point?
Outside.
Okay.
And I'm willing to wager if you are. I'm willing to put some money down on this.
I will wager.
Cool.
A friendly game of darts.
All right, I'll wager. Well, let me ask, how much you got?
How much do I have? Let's see. How do I find that out?
Should be on D&D Beyond.
Okay.
If you go under inventory, it should say kind of on the top right of that little sub-screen, your coin purse. A gold is worth 10 silver, and a silver is worth 10 copper.
Okay.
And a platinum is worth 10 gold. Makes the math easy.
Okay. Inventory. Equipment attainment. Uh-oh. Let's see. I actually do not have any currency. Uh-oh.
Are you broke?
I think I'm broke. Although I don't know if that lines up because my character was supposed to be fairly well off. Should I just give myself some currency?
Whoa, I don't think this game just allows you to give yourself some currency. Nice try, but that sounds like a Xander move to me. Do you have any gem in your purse?
Do I have any gems? I do not think so.
What items do you have?
Backpack, battle axe, chainmail, a dagger, mess kit, rations, rope, torch, water skin.
You should definitely have half plate if you do not already.
I have chainmail.
Go ahead and add yourself half plate. We did come up with this thought earlier.
Okay. How do I add? Okay, add items. Equipment.
And then let's go ahead and just for the sake of this role play, without taking away from too much, let's say you have about 15 gold. Because my God, you just got off a boat and stuff. You had 150 gold, but you decided to give 135 to the poor.
No, I got 15.
All right. How about we wager? Let's do 3 gold. That I can beat you in the game.
A fair wager.
A fair wager. Okay. All right. So, how's this gonna be done?
So, you see a guy going, step right up, come play. It's 1 gold, and we will outfit you with all the rules and the judgment.
I'll pay for both of us.
Ah, thank you very much. An unusual bunch.
Very.
He has a thing of darts. He scoots over to you. A thing of darts, he scoots over to you. It says, the game we play here is 201.
Okay.
You'll shoot your guys' call 2 or 3 darts. For each one of these darts, you roll a d20 and a d6. The d20 will say what number you hit, and the d6 will say the multiplier. So if you hit 20 times 5, well, holy hell, you just hit bullseye. You got 200 points. But the goal of the game is to get 201 exactly.
Interesting.
Or as close as you can in, let's say, 6 rounds.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's do that.
So, who is first?
Sparkmaster, you take up the plate.
Fair enough.
All right,
Okay.
first round. Let's go with 1 dart.
A D20 and a D6. Uh-oh. I accidentally rolled a D8. Okay. Oh, wait. No, I didn't roll it. Never mind. Okay, so it's a 3 times 6. That gives me 9. Oh, wait. No.
You rolled a D8 and a D6.
I rolled a D8 and a D6. Oh, did I roll? Oh, crap. Okay. They're all. Hold on.
Sir, you don't hit the smaller dartboard with only 8 spots. We're aiming at this big 20-space dartboard because you paid a full gold to play.
Okay, I got a 17. I got a 17 times 6.
So how does that look?
What does it look?
Oh, well, here, I'll describe it to you.
Okay.
You get back, you load. You're looking at that 20, and you're thinking that's the place you want to go. Your dart flies perfectly lined up to hit, and then it seems a bug hits you in the eye right before, and hits right above the line in which it counts on the dartboard. And with the 6, sir, you have missed the dartboard. Just barely.
Oh, dang. That's unfortunate. Man, you rolled pretty. You got pretty. You almost hit that.
Yeah.
That's insane. But sucks to suck. My turn.
Okay, kitty cat.
8 times 6. We got 8 and a 3, so that's a total of 24. Yeah.
So right on the 8 column, it goes not right by the bullseye, but on that 3 little small margin area. And ding! Sparkmaster seems like he knows what he's doing. He's cat-like reflexes and game-like mentality have him score a 24. So go ahead and subtract 24 from 201. All right, Dragon Man. Let's try 2 darts on the second round.
Sparkmaster is unfazed, confident in his next throw. And he rolls a 14 times 4 for 56.
He hits a 56. Well done, sir. That knocks a bit off the top. Now for your second dart.
Four times 2 for 8.
And you hit, and you were aiming for the 16 column, but you came just south of that and hit the 4 column. You had a good multiplier. Looking good, sir. Now the contender. Are you worried?
Not at all. I think I got this in the bag. A total of 22.
For your first dart?
For my first dart, yep. Total of 22. And second dart. $13 for my second one.
Bingo, bango. Well done.
I nudge Sparkmaster. I say, I don't mean to be mean, but you're gonna go down.
We shall see.
All right, round 3. We're just going to do every other guard back and forth
All right.
All right.
until the 5th round.
Okay, I got a 4 times 2. 4 times 2.
And then I'll shoot my next dart. And I got 45 for my second one.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, look at this high flyer. Step right up if you're next. He starts doing a little bit of side business. You realize he's not keeping track of the math at all.
Okay.
What are you guys at?
I have 97 points remaining.
All right.
I have 129 points remaining.
Okay. All right, Sparky.
All right.
Time to catch up.
Oh man,
This is the final round.
I got a
2
16.
darts.
I got a 16 times 6, which I think is gonna miss because it's too high.
Indeed.
Oh boy. You know, Sparkmaster, you don't really want to tense up too much. It seems that you gotta let loose. I'm pretty confident in this. I say we're the confident guys.
Dexterity has never been one of my strong suits.
I can tell. I got 25. My multiplier was a 5. I got 5 times 5.
25. Oh, 5 times 5?
Yeah, 5 times 5, yeah.
You see some fireworks pop off, and he starts just throwing confetti. We have a winner! Congratulations to the Black Cat. Everybody around will know that you are truly a person of good standing amongst the fairgrounds here in Ironton. You will be a well-known name in the future for sure.
I think we still have 1 dart left.
Oh! I'll give you 1 more.
Okay, thank you.
Sparkmaster, or whatever your name is, Sparky.
I rolled a 19 times 3.
Oh, gosh.
Nice work.
And I got 14 times 3.
All right.
That puts you over, doesn't it?
Nope, I don't think it does. No, that puts me at 30.
All right. Oh, I don't have any more fireworks or confetti. But congratulations.
And I say thank you, and I start walking away with Sparkmaster. And I say, "You owe me."
Oh, you, I do. It was a fair wager and a fair game.
Do you wish to make the exchange of coin now?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to remove 3. All right.
Just then, you see some old faces of Shochu and Xander coming back. They see you in the covered in confetti, smelling like gunpowder, even though it hasn't yet to be invented here. Sho, let's go to you now. We're in the town. It's about midday, 5 o'clock, I guess, evening. And pick a thing. Pick a thing you want to do and pick a guy and do him with it. And make it a skill challenge of some sort. or conversation. And also, welcome back, Shoreshack.
Thank you. Been a minute. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening in town even. I would like to pick all of you guys. I think have probably been here since I've been gone. But it looks like Xander just arrived back with me. So I picked Xander. And I would like to catch up with what's been going on. I'd like to say, hey, Xander, what's been going on?
Oh, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. Well, let's see. Well, since we've just basically gone shopping. There was the thing where I did go and talk to Siddle about getting him released out of prison. I don't know.
Still released out of prison? Wait a second. What's going on here?
Well, I feel bad that I got him locked up. I mean, so...
Come on, Xander. That doesn't scan. What happened to No Secrets? You just feel bad for him? I'm pretty sure you wanted to kill him last time we talked.
Well, yeah, but not in prison. No, I mean, really, I really just want him to be able to get out, and I want him to just go away. But we did agree that they would give me a 4-month reprieve to give myself time to clear my name and prove to them that I do not have this device that they say that I have.
I see. So they're willing to listen to some reason again.
Right. So all I have to do is talk to Elamar and convince him to let him go. And that he's not a danger to me.
This will be confusing for poor Elamar, since they did jump you. Well, not that long ago.
They did, but I mean, technically, since I'm the one that was assaulted, it's, I'm willing to let bygones be bygones and let them go on their way and meet back up with them in 4 months.
Very true. Very heroic of you, too. For a band of heroes, this sort of magnanimity is just exactly the kind of reputation I hope that we could cultivate. Very interesting. So is he in prison now as we speak still?
I still haven't talked to Elamar. I'm getting around to it.
Oh, very well.
It's on my to-do list.
Very good. And it seems that these two, our newest members, are engaged in some kind of carnival games.
I just beat him.
It was a close fight.
No, it wasn't. What happened to your, no lying kind of thing?
I think they're killing time,
Very good. Taking in some of the splendor that Ironton's markets have to offer. We are still in Ironton, by the way.
Yes.
That is very true. Okay. We have not left yet.
All right.
We are gathering supplies, maybe, to start this long trek.
And I'd like to put this on you for a second, Shoreshack. As you haven't been with the crew and are a bit baffled as to maybe where you even are, how is it that you look? Where does it look like you just came from? Without giving too much detail, just the graphic of it.
Oh, I want to say that Show is looking a little like he slept in a bush. He's got dirty clothes. He might have like a twig that he's not aware of, like not right by his horn or something. And just a little bit disheveled, a little confused. But he's looked worse.
Did you lose at the dart tournament over there?
I don't think so. Although, it wouldn't be the first time that I had gotten so drunk that I had completely forgotten what was going on while I was on this island and adventuring with this party. So it's technically possible. I just I don't think so.
I don't remember. Someone might have told me not to take monkey shots, but I ended up taking a monkey shot, and like the reward for losing is take 5 monkey shots, and I had one, and I was like, that is insanity. Maybe you ended up having that.
Well, from what I remember from my monkey shot experience, sounds like a win-win.
I don't know.
We had a fantastic time last time we did monkey shots.
I don't know about that.
And as you guys are passing by another darts game on the street, the vendor sees you, shows Jutatu, and goes, "Oh no, not you again! Get out of here! Enough is enough. Remember what happened last time."
I have no idea what happened last time. Who are you? It's all. I think this all makes sense, but I'm still gonna pretend like my pride is hurt. Stop yelling at me. I think I might have lost the game.
Goes, "Silence is key. Just let them keep moving. We don't want that to happen again."
I don't do whatever it is you're accusing me of. I work for the king. You got the wrong red dude. That guy's crazy.
I bet.
All right, Xander, let's move the spotlight to you as you're walking with this bunch. How do you look? How do you smell? Pick a thing to do with a person, and let's do it.
Well, I look marvelous, as I always do. The red cloak is on. It looks great. His clothes are clean. And if he does get a little bit of dirt on it, it's just a quick wave of hand, and boom, the poo is off the boot. Or, it doesn't matter. He stays clean. He likes to be clean. Smell? Unless they've just come from a swamp, he's always spot on and fragrance free. Doesn't necessarily have to have a great odor, but a lack of odor is a nice odor. And so that's the look and the smell. He tastes wonderful too, if you want to know that. Something that he needs to do, so if you want him to have some kind of check and use a skill check, he will, I'm just going to have a conversation with Sho, since, Sho wanted to talk to me. I want to talk to Sho, and I just want to let Sho know that, the reason I really wanted to get Siddle out of prison is it's just, I feel real bad about him being in there, and I want to have a chance to clear my name and to prove to everybody that I do not have this device that they say I do. And I'd like to make a deception check.
Go ahead and make your check.
Yeah. So basically the same conversation we just had, except my check is deception, to see if I can convince him otherwise.
Shows the tattoo. Roll yourself an insight.
What's not happening?
My deception was a 26.
And I think in future cases, Xander and anybody else who might want to go down this route of inter-party turmoil and deception and/or performance, you can just say that you'd like to make a check. I will tell you, make a check. It will be either performance or deception. I'll let you make that choice of which you want to do. That way we don't give any tells. And then whoever you're talking with, I might have roll an insight check or anything like this. If Sho or Namina, Sparkmaster, you want to call anybody out on something they're doing, I'll have you make an insight check, and they just make a check. It'll be either performance or deception, depending on whether or not they're lying. And then you might be able to gain some insight into the true motivations of what they're doing. But for now, Shochitatu, is your insight check above a 27?
Sadly, I rolled a 19, so not a nat 20. And my insight is only +1, so it makes 20.
You feel damn good with your ability to read Xander Rednax. You guys have made a promise. And he seems to be holding well to that. You begin to know him as a character a little closer now, and you think you found his tells.
Think.
Yeah, that's going to be hard to act. This is going to be hard to... don't believe it at all, but shows, I guess, a bit of a dummy. So he's like, yeah, thanks, Xander. We just talked about this, but I really appreciate you repeating it in an even more convincing manner. Definitely doesn't draw any attention to this. Good on you. Way to take a turn for the less murderous and more interested in, you're being proven innocent. I'll help you out with that, man. Really appreciate the honesty.
Show, I made a promise to you, man.
Yeah, I know. And once you make a promise, you can't lie after that. Yeah, 100% truth from here on out. I see what happened there. It's like magic, but it's not. It's just you saying that. Man, I went for a bender and it came back, and Xander is kind of a swell, honest dude right now. Love it. You're looking great, by the way. Smelling great.
I always was.
That is true. Yeah. Yep. I believe that.
I've got your back.
Believe that too.
You go ahead and believe all that too.
Xander, anything else you want to package into your obviously believable story? Just joking. We have to cut it off somewhere. We'll cut it off there. I'm going to go pour myself a glass of scotch as your DM. Give you all, as a party, a little time to communicate, kind of plan what you want to do, catch back up with where you're going to go. And let's get this party started.
Cool. So did you guys all do this shopping episode last time as well? Oh, you know what? Shoot. I got to go take care of something.
Well, there really wasn't a lot of shopping involved last time.
All right. I'll be right back.
So you'll be right back.
Yeah, he'll be right back.
Xander, tell me, how do you propose to prove your innocence to these men that are chasing you in the 4-month deadline?
I'm still working on that inside my head. I mean, how do you convince somebody that you're innocent when you know you're innocent? It's really boggling me, and it's a problem that I'm trying to work out, but I just haven't figured it completely out.
Wow.
But I just feel so bad that he was in prison that I had to do something.
Indeed.
Well,
How do you prove to someone that you do not have something?
What was that?
I said, how do you prove to somebody that you do not have something? It is easy to prove that one has something, but how does one prove
Exactly.
that?
I guess the only way would be to find the person who actually had what they're looking for.
Indeed.
What exactly is this thing that you do not have?
They are looking for an instrument of some kind. Honestly, I'm unaware of exactly what it is. It's supposed to be some great artifact of some bard overseas somewhere. I don't know. But when I find it, well, I may be tempted to take it myself. But being the honest person I am, I will return it.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check. And Xander, make a roll of some sort.
I do not believe him whatsoever. I eat his stuff up like a cake. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, well, I had a 17, so
Yeah, no, I believe you. I believe him. Oh, okay.
Namina, I would say this. You look at Xander, and he is an incredibly likable dude. It seems like if he waves his hands left, you look left. If he waves his hands right, you look right. You're waiting for the tune he's going to play on whatever instruments he has. And it's just a captivating way of his words, so much so that you kind of lose track of the words he really says altogether, trying to peer into whether or not he is believable. And he's so entertaining, you just can't tell. damn good salesman.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I just got lost in thought. Have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Let's
But the
keep
more
moving.
pressing matter, Namina, is why we have to help you. We've got to find the people that you're looking for. That's the most important thing we have going on right now.
Who?
I mean, besides finding the cave and all that kind of stuff for the king.
Who are we? Who am I looking for?
Weren't you talking to that? Never mind.
Xander, tell me more about the cave with the key.
I want to know more about how Xander knows that I apparently have someone to talk to.
Nah, we'll skip that. The cave, you say?
No. Now I put my hand on his shoulder, and I look at him very, very sternly, almost as if I'm intimidating him, but not really intimidating him.
Roll me a persuasion or an intimidation check.
Well, neither of them are any sort of pluses, but we'll see anyway. We'll do intimidation, and it's not intimidating at all.
Explain to me what this looks like. And Xander, you can explain how you react.
I put my hand on his shoulder, and I get lost in his eyes.
You are such a beautiful cat. Your fur is so silky smooth. How do you keep it that way?
I lick it.
That is amazing. I should really try that. I mean, not your fur. I mean, like myself.
And Namina, you are swooned. As unswooning as that conversation may have been to a listener, Namina, you are swooned beyond belief, and lose all intimidation as you kind of smile and he winks at you.
I rolled a 2, man. I rolled a 2.
Sparkmaster, take it away with your concerns.
I would like to know more about the key in the cave.
Okay. So the king has hired us to go to the center of the island. And as the story goes, that the dwarves and the people of this island once dug so deep into the island that they found something. How did the king describe it? I guess the best way to describe it would be I'm just going to say a dead god of sorts, like a
titan.
A titan, almost like a dead titan, and they began not mining them ore, they began mining the body of the titan, and then they had to heat it up or try to heat it up so hot to smelt this material, is either the bone. I'm not even sure what they were trying to smelt, but the essence itself was ripping this island apart.
Most people would consider Titans the stuff of only myths.
You're telling me that there's a body of a mythical being on this island?
I'm telling you that that's what we were told. And years, like 400 years ago, an agreement was made that they would no longer do this because it was tearing the island apart. But now, as it seems, the island is getting torn apart again. So our thought to the king is that perhaps someone has found another way into this tunnel. So our job, and your guys as mercenaries coming with us, is to see if there is another entrance that perhaps the goblins or another party has dug into, so that we can report back to the king that this is indeed happening. We're not being sent there to stop this. We're being sent to investigate to see if it is happening.
Now, what if it's something that's a pressing matter? Say that if it goes unattended for the amount of time it takes to travel to this spot, would it destroy the island? Should we stop it then? What if that's the case? I would think that we'd stop it because, supposedly you guys are the heroes of Ironton. Ironton's part of the island.
True, Ironton is part of the island.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the most noble and outright thing to do would be to attempt to stop it if that was the case. Of course. I mean, assuming that's what they hire us to do.
Well,
we are, in fact, the heroes of Ironton. Or at least we will be when this is over.
I think after this, we'd be the heroes of the island, if that's the case.
No, not heroes of the island. The heroes of Ironton. There's a difference.
There is a difference. Okay.
Because we are not the heroes of Alabast.
Okay. Well.
Xander, is there any risk that this Titan is perhaps able to be awoken?
I don't believe so. Not by the way that the king told the story, because they'd already mined me before. So, I mean, if I woke up and half my body was gone, I would definitely be kind of PO'd.
Well, I mean, from the stories that I was told as a child, as you would say, these Titans don't really die. They just sleep. They just sleep for a very long time.
My knowledge of lore beyond what I've been told by the king is not there. So if you were told stories as a child, you probably know more than me at this point.
I also have concerns that what is ultimately destroying the island is perhaps the Titan either rousing in his slumber or approaching an awake state. And I feel we should investigate.
I'd say that we should too.
Well, that's why we're going. We do want to investigate. That is top priority. Not the entrance itself. It has been magically guarded, and there's wards and protections all around it.
Now, what if
another tunnel has been dug into that one? That's what we're going to be looking for.
Do we know for certain that this particular tunnel that has already been in place hasn't been, I don't know,
breached?
Yeah, breached. Good word.
I don't believe that it has, because it had magical wards on it, and I believe that at least the magicians here in Ironton would know if those wards were broken. I believe that's how it would work.
I think that's something we should probably check before we depart. If they know that their wards are gone, if they know whether they are on or off or gone or not gone, then that's something that we should probably confirm. If they cannot figure out whether they're gone or not, then we should probably check that entrance just to be sure that it hasn't been, I guess, compromised.
Right, I understand that. And I can't see how they would not have known that they were gone. If they knew they were gone, they would have already told the king that, hey, these wards are gone, and perhaps somebody has broken this 400-year-old treaty. And we would not have been the first ones to tell them. So that's why I tend to believe that those are still in place.
Okay. We should still probably check it just to be safe.
Well, that's fine. I had actually wanted to speak to the head of the Magicians Guild anyway here.
What for?
Do I ask you all kinds of questions about why you want to talk to everybody?
Hey, did we come into a bunch of gold recently at all? Any of our magical items get sold? prices out here are ridiculous. I thought I was rich. Turns out I'm not at all.
Show, I believe I owe you a couple hundred gold.
Oh yeah, that's right. For boarding the dog.
Yes,
perhaps.
yeah. For the wolf, Conan,
It's not
yeah.
the wolf. I'm sorry. Yeah, yes. Conan. It's not going to really put me up anywhere where I can get any armor that I would like to use on this journey, but that's all right.
What do you need, Show?
Well, you know, we seem to be getting into more and more trouble, and I'm not that big of a guy. I can always use more armor. Looking at these armor shops, and they're pretty attractive, but the lowest price piece of armor is 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold for a piece of art? Is it magical?
It seems indeed that it would be magical.
1,000. My Lord.
Ah, that's all right.
Where is this shop at? I would like to see this 1,000 gold magical armor.
Why, the halls of Hilmer.
Well, take me there and show it to me. I want to see this armor. It looks. Is it really nice?
It looks pretty good. It looks better than what I got on now.
Would it fit me?
Would it fit you? I don't know. I'm sure that these dwarves are very, very good at their craft. They could probably fix you up a set.
Well, let's take a look. I want you to show me what this armor looks like.
You find your way to the halls of Hilmer, and you hear the crink, crink, crink. Sparkmaster, nostalgia fills your heart. Every time you walk into or buy a forgery, a smith, or any of the like, you can smell the whiffs of burning metal and the impurities coming off. And you can tell almost what part of a mountain that certain ores were mined at. This has a very unusual whiff indeed. As you enter the store, a number of you see armor sets hung on mannequins, if you will. One prized piece sitting in the window, or lack thereof of a window, but a window place. Words. There are several plates, mostly full plate and half plate mail, made of extraordinary quality. Sparkmaster, you can see just looking at them that the armor built here will actually give you more protection than armor you've seen in other places. The craftsmanship is better than your parents' shop, even though your parents' shop was known all over the world. Asking Hilmer himself, you find that the armor is a combination of great craftsmanship and an extra malleable ore that, when furnace, hardens to the same strength, allowing for a less expert craftsman to actually craft an expertise set of armor. If that made sense at all, words are really hard today. Bottom line is the half plate and the plate mail give you a +1, and so do any of the mithril plates.
You say it's Hilmer?
Yes.
All right. Well, Hilmer, my good man, did you craft this yourself? It is amazing work.
No, I didn't. But thank you. I just sourced my materials from the finest dwarves in the land. All leftover ore from long ago.
It is quite spectacular.
Oh,
I mean, I would have said most definitely that this would have been your work, a master craftsman as yourself.
Oh, shucks. Roll for flattery.
Yeah, Now, exactly how much is this beautiful piece that you have up here?
Well, which one would you like? We have half plates and full plates of normal steel, as well as mithril, crafted with ore directly from the skirts and the reefs of this island as well.
My friend Sho Tutatu here was looking at a piece. Which one were you looking at, Sho?
Oh, I was just looking at that little half plate right there.
Oh, yes, it would be a perfect size on you.
So,
Let's see. MSRP is 1,000 gold pieces.
wow, 1,000.
Yes, as you noted, excellent quality here.
It is exquisite. It is beautiful.
Yes, we considered charging much more, but, we wanted to give some to the people.
And Xander puts his hand up to think, so that the ring is right there on his face. It'd be like 1,000. Could it? Is there any way it could be just a little less?
With a perception roll, he does notice that ring. He is not just a short dimwit, but also a very perceptive short dimwit. He looks, well, what else do you have to offer? Of course, we are running a shop. And have
I understand that. By no means are we here to shortchange you or to cut you short, but then he kind of reaches down and gets real close. I have 900. Would that be enough?
Roll me a persuasion check.
All right. I'd like to get it for him as a gift. And it is a 23.
He looks at you while looking over his show. He says, 900 if we can brand and furnish the name of our shop across the breastplate.
How about 925 and no branding?
Thought you only had 900.
I said I only wanted to spend 900 on him. But I'm willing to go a little bit more.
It's a 950, and we'll just put the initials of the shop.
What are the initials?
HOH.
HOH.
It will have a nice symmetry to it.
So he would have ho across his breastplate?
Or O with two silent H's.
So he'd have ho across his breastplate?
How about can we make do I overhear this conversation?
No. And I'll take out 1,000 and be like, thank you for the conversation and thank you for making me laugh and almost making me have my friend wear ho across his chest. But I cannot do it. Just take 1,000 and he's going to take this breastplate.
All right. He goes, it was terrific doing business. Sir, come over. We can get this fitted and have it ready for you within the hour.
Oh, I don't mind if I do.
He pulls it up, sets it on you. Looks really good. Walks around. You just want the normal, not the mithril plate.
Oh, I think that he said just do the best.
Oh, well, we'll pick you up with this mithril plate.
How's this? How's this? I heard the conversation a little bit before. You can put the logo on there. You can put your face on there if you like. Just mithril plate and all the branding you'd like for 1,000. And I know that sounds steep, but again, I don't know if you took note, but we are in service of the king. So wherever we go, Ironton's reputation follows, and it's in good hands. And so could your reputation. It's the same good hands.
He walks back over to Xander. Normally that sells for 3,500. I will sell it to you for 3,100, minus the branding, except for a hoe. And I too enjoyed the conversation, sir.
What is the benefit of the mithril plate as opposed? I mean, I'm not marrying this guy. He's just my travel partner.
You two would make attractive youngsters, but the mithril plate is a much lighter and quieter male. Doesn't let the dragons know you're coming, if you will.
I mean, is it so it's just lighter? Does it protect him more? He is pretty squishy.
The half plate and the mithril half plate both provide about the same protection. Looking mechanically, though, they're both a +1, and the half plate gives you disadvantage on stealth rolls. Mithril half plate negates that effect, so you get no disadvantage on stealth rolls.
All right. So 3,000.
You have yourself a deal.
All right, Joe. We're square on the boarding of the dog.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Xander. I lost track of how much. Is it 200, 3,000, something like that?
It was more than the boarding of that wolf. Yes, yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give yourself a half plate. A mithril half plate.
Mithril
Plus-
half plate. I've never bought myself anything that expensive.
Just goes to show how much you love show.
He is the first one I ever met. First friend I've had in a while.
First love?
No. First friend. That's why I never lie to show.
Just before you do leave, you get a glimmer of a painting of an extraordinary shield. One that sparkles and bedazzles you. It's labeled Spellguard Shield, but it also has a striking familiarity in its sparkle, Xander. No, not Xander. A striking familiarity to its sparkle show, to the snail that you fought in the Southern Springs, and the dust that you made with Grukturv out of the snail shell itself.
I see.
You get the hint that this shield is made with, at least as one component, the dust from that snail shell.
It's a painting of said shield, not just the shield itself.
Let's say that you pointed at a painting, he took you back, showed you the goods. They're very protected. You can't steal it. That's kind of the bottom line there. You can try to steal it. I'm not going to stop you guys from trying to do something stupid, but it's...
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, I don't want to railroad you.
Didn't mean to see this shield.
Sure.
He would want to touch it.
Your hand gets grabbed as you reach out by a firm dwarven man. Crushes down in your hand to the point where you do feel pain. You try to pull your hand away, but it just doesn't move. It's a very firm grasp on you. It says, "No touching."
I look at him and I look at it and I eye it very intently.
But it's so shiny.
It is so shiny. He's thinking, it's really shiny and he really wants to touch it. Just touch it. I look at him and I say, can I please just touch it just once?
You cannot, for I cannot guarantee your survival. This shield is not only pretty, but powerful.
If I touch it, I die?
It's possible. Depending on how magical you are.
I'm a cat.
Depending on who you go towards, it will protect you against all sorts of magical effects.
I don't care about that. I just want to touch it.
Well, for that, you will have to buy it first.
I don't have that money. I don't even know how much it costs, but I don't have that money.
I understand. Well, once you guys finish your adventure and your boss gives you a wink, Xander, pays you in good copious amount of coin, come back and you can take it as a prize.
Our boss is the king himself.
Indeed. He's smiling ear to ear, saying, "It is good to be friends with you all." I hear the king pays well.
Good to know.
Obviously.
Thank you for your time.
Of course. Come back when you have more coin.
I walk out, and as we're walking out, and like we're away from the shop, I'm just like, I didn't even want to buy it. I just wanted to touch it. It's just shiny.
I just wanted to make a deal on a piece of armor for show, and I feel like I got screwed.
These dwarves are crafty. Who knew?
I want to sneak back in and have a side conversation with the shop owner.
All right. Roll me a stealth check just for fun.
Okay.
Don't you wear full plate?
16.
Nice.
Yeah, doesn't he wear full or half plate?
And I am wearing my half plate.
At disadvantage for stealth.
Still okay. It's wait. Oh no, what does disadvantage do?
It means you roll twice and you take the lower score.
Oh, okay. Okay, I rolled a 16 and then I rolled a nat 1. So I guess I nat 1.
So you were gonna sneak back, and everyone's talking about the armor, and they're looking at Show as Show dons this glorious piece. And Show, you feel so much more protected. It's still lightweight, as bulky as it is. It's not really your style, but holy shit, does it feel good. You feel protected. And just then you hear crink as Sparkmaster goes to open a door, and his part of his half plate catches on the door, and he starts pulling, and with his strength just rips the door off the handles. And
I walk back over and I just look at him.
And you guys can continue on your way. Sparkmaster, let's do this side combo.
All right, I've got myself dislodged from the door. I walk up to the shop owner and I want to know more about this ore. Do you bring in the ore here and forge here? Do you have your pieces forged somewhere else?
Oh, well, the ores are stockpiled here from a few decades ago. The mithril ores themselves were combed from the top of the peaks you see up in the mountains there. Mithril Peak is a well-known point, if you will, and place of contention. It was the old entrance to the heart of the island down under this mountain. It is that peak that now lays flat that the ore was harvested from originally for all of these mithril plates and weapons we have around this town.
So you've been sitting on this stockpile of ore for that long?
Oh, yes.
You haven't gotten any new ore in recently.
What specifically are you looking for?
Do I believe him that he hasn't the ore is old?
Give me an insight check.
So that one.
Oh my gosh.
He seems pretty firm,
It's a
but he's hard to
zero.
read. You know, he's just hard to read. And I've played with a character. I played with somebody who has gotten almost as many nat ones as you have. Considering that
I got the record.
I think your nat one rolls are above 50%. I actually made an item for this guy that was every time he rolled a nat one, he got like some special perk. So we might bring that item back.
All right.
At some point here. But he asked you, what is it you're looking for? Any special deliveries or something of this kind?
I'm simply a man that has an appreciation for high quality forgery, and I'm just very intrigued by the items you've managed to produce here.
Yes, we have contractors with dwarves from various mountains across the lands. If there's any special requests you have, I can put them in.
I shall keep that in mind. All right, he's satisfied. He believes this dude.
Terrific.
He rejoins the party. Not trying to be stealthy about it this time.
Where are you all off to now?
I need to go back to my room.
You need to go back to your room?
What time is it?
Coming evening, about 6 o'clock, 5:30.
Okay.
I need to go back to my room and I need to speak to Elmar.
All right. As the party goes,
They don't have to go with me, but I have something I have to do.
I'll accompany Xander if he wants company.
You can walk if you want to walk. I can't stop you from where you walk. It's always good to have an extra set of eyes watching for that little rascal around.
That isn't our enemy.
He still believes I'm his.
you knock on Elmar's door. Elmar himself answers. Who all is with you, Xander? Or who all is with Xander?
I am.
I guess Namina.
All right. Oh, hello. Well, welcome back. How is the preparations for your journey going?
I believe they're almost complete.
Good. We have started the paperwork for the prosecution of Cecil for the murder of the individual who we have in question. It is not yet public knowledge, though we have a press release going out tomorrow morning to the loved ones of that individual. You understand this is somewhat of a sensitive matter, being the son of an aristocrat type. What brings you back?
Well, I was actually going to ask if there was any possible chance that... Are you sure Cecil is guilty?
Sure, not yet. We have some magical due diligence with Pablo, as far as Cecil is concerned, but we do have the confession. And so I feel to let the family members know is the right move at this point.
I seem to recall when we were in the tunnels that I don't believe that Cecil did it. I don't know why he would take the take the blame for it. But it seems to me that I recall seeing Tommy while they were arguing still in the chamber we were in.
Come in. Come have a seat. He walks over to, say, a couch area and points over to the window and says, "You both do remember him confessing that right here, do you not?"
I do, and at the time I was perfectly fine that if he wants to confess to murder and get locked up, that's fine. But inside my heart, once I thought about it and the time frame, there's no way he did it. Now, me, I want him locked up more than anyone here, but I cannot stand to see an innocent man in prison. So
very just of you.
I remember specifically chasing after Soomper when he had one of his little hissy fits, and I went right past Tommy Two Tones. Tommy may have tried to follow us, and I'm afraid something may have got him in those caves, but it was not Cecil.
Well, Xander, this is tough news to hear, considering I had just spent all afternoon doing paperwork. But if your heart speaks toward this,
it does.
The justice would not be served with the declaration of these papers and the prosecution of Cecil. I will hold off on informing the family as of yet. Now, the next course of action will take some deliberation. But you mentioned seeing Tommy Two Tones in the caves alive the last time you saw him.
The last time I saw him, yes.
Well, I will spin up a scouting party to go down tomorrow morning and hopefully, God willing, find him alive. If not, find the body and move forward with some medical examinations.
Exactly. There are some dangerous creatures down there.
Indeed.
And it has been, 5-6 days. Tommy was a great bard, but I don't know if he was built to survive down there that long.
Yes, God willing. Now, I have a lot of explaining to do. Besides your inkling of judgment in this matter, what proof do we have of Cecil's innocence? How do we explain such a commitment to a false or potential false truth here? I have authorities to convince of this before any action can be taken, and I honestly don't want to prosecute the wrong man.
Well, it is possible that he felt safer in prison than out of prison. You, as a man of the law, you've seen that before, obviously. Where someone feels that perhaps they've done something wrong and that their life may be in danger, the safest place to be is surrounded by guards. I've gone to talk to him already, and Cecil and I have agreed that we are going to leave each other alone.
Yeah, I did see your visit in the logbooks.
After his assault against me, I'm just willing to let it all go. Let bygones be bygones.
I will note that. Following up with My name generator is broken. Give me a second. She had a name, I swear she did. Following up with Xandra. In her aristocratic family of Tommy Two Tones, I will inform them of your hunch and see what they wish to do with the proceedings for Cecil in the interrogation, for which would evolve. For now, he'll remain in custody until we can prove this out further.
Well, I thank you for your consideration.
All right. If you know anything more about Cecil's situation and why someone would run from death just to be put to death, I would be curious. I suspect you don't know all the answers here, as you don't have a lot of history with these two gentlemen. But
not at all.
If you come across any words on the street, as you are heroes here in Ironton, and word does go to heroes, come back and let us know. Hopefully we'll speed up the investigation and give the family good news.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I do hope we can get this all resolved post-haste.
As do I. He walks upstairs.
And I'm heading towards my room.
All right. You enter your room.
I follow him.
All right. Namina and Xander enter your room.
Conan's still there?
Conan is. As is a prized possession, wherever you put it.
And that's what I look for, and I just merely feel to see if it's there, seeing how I have a cat in the same room with me.
Give me a sleight of hand check, Xander. And Namina, give me a perception check.
Sleight of hand, sleight of hand.
Ooh.
I wasn't that good with the sleight of hand. I got a 12.
I got a total of 20.
All right, Namina, you catch in the side of your eye. It doesn't catch your attention right away. But in all the hustle and bustle, you notice he was feeling for something, trying to shift your attention elsewhere. Feel free to bring that up later in a conversation. But to keep things moving, let's plow ahead. Anything else you guys would like to do?
Xander, I don't know why I got sidetracked earlier, but since we're alone, how did you know?
I thought I heard you say something at some point.
Nope.
Weren't you talking to?
Last I checked, you had left the black market whenever I was talking to that particular person. I want to know how you know.
Maybe I assumed you were looking for someone here. That's why you were here. I don't know. Perhaps
That's
we were just
bold
a guess
assumption.
on my part.
It's that's a bold assumption. I could be here for many reasons. I already told you that I was on my search for my parents, my family. But tell me how that has any correlation with my family. How a black market has any correlation with my family.
Well, where else would you go to try to learn information?
The black market's for illegal information, not for information that I already know where they are.
Well, if you already know where they are, then what's the problem? Let's go find them.
How do you know that I'm searching for someone?
I'm pretty sure you said that.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure I also overheard Show talk about speaking all truths or something like that, or not lying.
Hmm.
I want to know how you knew that I'm going to be searching for someone in Alabast.
Didn't we talk about what's that guy's
No.
name?
We
The
didn't.
guy in Alabast.
We didn't.
Hmm.
Oh, actually, do you mean Alexander?
No.
Not
Who?
Alexander?
No. I've never heard that name.
Okay.
But who's Alexander?
I was trying to see if I could catch you in a lie, actually. I failed. I mentioned Julian to you guys once. I have not met Julian. I know of
I have not either. However, I do know that anyone that is looking for Julian is looking because he's done something bad. So, you're looking for your parents. You're looking for Julian. Put two and two together in a ballpark kind of way, and you're looking for someone that Julian has.
That's not always true. I got wind that Julian knew something that I needed to know in relation to my parents. That doesn't mean that he knows that I'm particularly, that they're wrapped up in something bad. I couldn't see my family doing something that puts them in a harm's way.
Okay.
Look, man,
Are your parents in trouble?
I'm going to tell you right now, I haven't seen my family in over 15 years. I want to know where they're at. And there's a lot going on with me and my family that you don't know about, nor do you need to know about. I want to know how you knew that I needed to find someone at the black market. That's all I want to know. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell it to me straight.
It was a guess.
A guess. I roll an insight check.
All right. Go ahead and roll that insight check. Xander, roll a check of some sort to see how it is that you feel for any of this. Nina, what did you get?
I got a 23.
Now, you want me to roll a what?
Either a deception or a performance check, depending on what you feel you're doing.
31.
Holy crap!
What the crap?
How do you
It
get
was a natural 20 with a +1 or +11 performance.
All right, Namina. It seems like you've connected on a level with him. And you feel like you are seeing layers beneath the onion that is Xander. He must be a smarter guy than you give him credit to. Maybe you have a tell and he pieced it together. But as far as you're concerned, Xander's a very perceptive, very aware individual when it comes to people.
Just know this, Namina. I've been apart from my family for years too, and I know the pain that it causes. And if there is any way that I can help you, I will.
I was ripped from my family. I didn't go by choice. And I miss them. I haven't found them, and I've been looking. I have information that I want to know. I trust you. and I will protect you and help you in any way that I can as well. I appreciate your honesty.
Always.
And if you need a hand in combat or a hand in whatever, let me know. But first, tell your dog not to bite me.
He's a good boy.
I look over at Conan. What does Conan look like?
He's looking at you and growling.
I bet. I said that's still a battle, I guess, that we need to fix.
So I'll clap him on the back. Let's go find the others.
And instead of him hitting me on the shoulder, I grab his hand and I bring it down and I shake it.
That'll work too.
Let's
Good
go.
game him as he walks out the door.
All right. And you guys depart into now the early evening, twilight time period. You've done a bit. You come back to the party. Say about 7:30 to 8:30 time frame. Maybe approaching 9, potentially. You have a quest ahead of you. Is there anything else that the party needs to do before you take off?
I think that Namina's pretty good right now. I think I'm pretty good.
Show, you still there, Show?
Yeah.
Okay. You're all frozen on mine, so I can't tell who's here and who's not. So, Show, I do need to speak with the head of the Mages Guild. Would you perhaps like to accompany me?
Yes.
We did want to
Yes.
inquire about whether they knew that the seals had been broken on this tunnel.
Right. And I believe the king has the scroll, correct? Did he take that too?
He was going to give it to Pablo.
Very well. Yeah. So I had intended to show them that too, but maybe I would just be interested to hear more about it, being that we were the ones who found it.
But we have not spoken with Pablo yet, and I believe that was something that was on our list.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to speak to Pablo. Also, given the fact that he was an apparent target of the character assassination. I have to look up her
Exactly.
name once again.
So perhaps we meet the mercenaries back, and they can begin packing everything up. Our hired hands.
Very good.
And that is where we will take a break, brought to you by Bang Energy. We will come back and talk to Pablo, and the party will depart onto a glorious mission in just a few minutes on Shoreshack Adventure.
Woo!
And welcome back, viewers. All one of you or two of you, or in the future, millions. This will be an extended break, and you can just watch us have conversations and chat because things need to be fixed mechanically. So, as your DM puts a guise of just being a wall, the party, feel free to chat or entertain all half of our guests.
So, Mike.
Oh, yes.
At one point during my absence, I made the excuse of going and seeing the barmaid who had talked to us about the graveyard situation. And I just want to get like a little refresher as if we had spoken again with her at some point, obviously, basically before we hit the road, should we encounter that place again. I wanted to get a reminder of what it was exactly that I had agreed to do for her. But there's no rush in that. I can send you a message, and
I think I can probably dig something up here real quick.
Dad, I can't believe you rolled a nat 20.
What?
I can't believe you rolled a nat 20.
It's just the 31,
Izzy.
man.
Her name was Izzy.
Yep, Izzy, and I believe she gave you a key.
That sounds right. I've got it in my notes at home. That sounds right.
Do you want me to check your notes?
If you can decipher where I have them.
Do you have them in Google Docs?
No. They're in the green book on the floor.
Yeah, she gives me a key. Clive gave it to her and said, "A promise is a promise."
Yep.
He was going to give her a ring or something, but she was gone when he was meant to give it to her. Something about every third week.
Correct. And I think moral of the story, and we can go back and review the notes, is that Clive had told her there'd be someone who would be coming. She had seen him after he had died. He gave that key to her and said to impart this on whoever it is that comes. You will know it's them when they get here. She took it as a sign that you are those people and gave you a key. This key would lead to the promise that he promised her, and that you were to retrieve this for her.
Got it.
The standing, I think, with you all, were a little uncertain as to what kind of person Clive was, but was very well known in the area and the bar, and he was a protector of the forest as well. He had died questing as a guide for some adventurers up the mountain who had all been seen with their bodies mangled, being consumed by a tree.
Right.
That sounds cool.
Their arms, their legs, their heads, all hung from different branches. It was assumed that Clive was a part of that crew and did not make it back. She supposedly saw him a week after and was imparted that gift as he magically disappeared in a way that didn't seem like it was him physically. For 2 years, I believe, he's been on her mind, and it's consumed her. And she was just to the point of forgetting about it all when you all showed up and saw it.
Very good. Thank you.
Now, just as a reminder as well, you also shared a campfire with Clive Rose house.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And who he also told you to go to the Black Stag and let everyone know that Rose or that Clive sent you.
Right, which was met with some understandable disbelief and suspicion.
Right.
Yep. And that is why she believed that you were the chosen ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were sending with the tell them large Marge sent you message.
We'll fill in the rest of anything in chat, especially when you get your notes, Sander. I have a whole listing of all the things that could have happened. I'm not sure how much of that you know and how much of you have still to discover. So don't want to give away anything.
Gotcha. All right, so Show and I are going to head to see if we can meet up with
Pablo.
Pablito.
The great wizard Pablo.
What a great wizard he is.
So we are going to head towards the Mages Guild, or Mages Tower.
So in the evening time, as you guys are walking through Ironton, you cross over the bridges. The tides are rushing below you, and you can hear the ripple of water over rocks. The coral foundations that the buildings here in Ironton are kind of built upon are jagged. It makes for a very pleasant noise that drowns out any bustle in the streets. You look up, and there's a tall, kind of irky, wizardy looking tower on the middle of one of the islands. This is the tower you know is the Magician's Guild, and where Pablo has an office in the top and conducts his business. As a reminder, Pablo is the Minister of Magic for all of Ironton and is in charge of anything magical or magical doings within the walls of Ironton, and potentially some in the lands directly under control by Ironton government. You go in and are able to gain an audience with him after waiting 30 or so minutes, as he understands that this is a pressing matter. You see an old man who's light on his feet, surprisingly. Not the grand wizard you would imagine Pablo might be, but instead a spry. Somebody who looks maybe about 50 years old in age and stature, who moves around rather athletically. He has a really deep squint and a long ponytail. It goes down almost to his butt of blonde hair. Hello. I was wondering when I would get to meet your acquaintances. Gain your acquaintance. Pardon. I've been in the books all afternoon, studying of history. History pertaining with some discoveries that I've heard you made. What brings you here to the tower?
Well, Pablo, these discoveries and others that we've made in our adventures, we've been meaning to make your acquaintance as well for some time, probably some time longer than you have even heard about us. You see,
Well, the pleasure is mine.
I'm going to lean over to Xander and go, what was her name again?
It's in my notes at home. Mike, just know that we do know the name of the person that we were trying to remember.
Oh, yeah. Gloria.
Gloria, okay. And it has to do with one Gloria, who is apparently a staple member of the community here in Ironton.
Ah, yes. It is a complicated web that we are unraveling as we speak.
Now, the reason that specifically what I would like to talk to you about is her apparent animosity towards you. You aware of this?
So I see there have been some uncoverings in our investigation, which have opened my eyes to the fact that she has some ill intent with my future if they were to have her way. We're keeping close eye on her now, bounding her movements throughout this land and keeping metaphorical shackles on where she may go as we continue the investigation. What concerns may you have, or anything that would be of value for us in the investigation? Seems like something is on your tongue.
Well, we hail from Alabast, where we had done much of our adventuring before we had come to this place. And much of our adventuring in Alabast concerned untangling the webs of the machinations and plots of one Julian who resides there. Now, it seemed to me that Gloria may have had some relationship with Julian, or that they may have both had a relationship with some other force instructing them on how to do what they were doing. And I figured we could compare notes, so to speak, if you so saw fit.
Ah, well, I did smell a similar flavor of webbing to the complication that also is Alabast. This seems to me, and maybe you are confirming my hunch, that this is just but a satellite nest of whatever spider would spin such a silk. The complications do not fall outside of my awareness. Unraveling them, though, in a logical manner is a bit of a task. I would love to hear your insights on the town of Alabast, as I don't get out much.
Well, Alabast seems to be coming increasingly under the strict control of Julian. In fact, most alarmingly, the Order of the Lawhammer's Temple, which was run by or stewarded by one Father Lochby, was burnt to the ground while we were on errand for them.
And rest his soul. He was a good man.
That he was. I wasn't sure whether or not news of this event had reached here yet. This is probably the most alarming bit of news that I have.
Indeed. He leans a little closer to you and says, Father Lakshmi was one of my only personal communications in the town of Alabast. He was often wrote letters and flew owls between the Temple of Celesti here in town and about the doings of Julian back in Alabast. It is rather peculiar that we only got half of a letter from him prior to hearing of his execution of sorts.
Half of a letter, you say?
Indeed. An owl came delivering a letter that just was not finished.
Interesting. It was on our last mission for him as well, before the temple was burned down, that we had reason to believe that his communications were being intercepted or modified as well. That is to say, the paladins that we sent searching for were not receiving messages that he had sent, but instead receiving messages imploring they stay where they were, where he was in fact trying to call them back. It would seem that somebody within his inner circle, or somebody in charge of the delivery of letters to and from Alabast, had an agenda.
Indeed. How were these letters delivered? Would you know?
I wouldn't, unfortunately. This was something that we had intended to, a concern we intended to raise with Father Lashby when we returned, only to find his corpse in the rubble of his temple.
This is too bad. It is of grand importance, as we have an investigation here as well. to understand what means of communications may have been tainted, to understand the quality of the last comms we've had with the man prior to his ending. This is still up for debate internally here, though we have done a lot of magical detections to try to discern from any manipulation of text. We've yet to find any, which, in all honesty, seems strange, as the tone of Father Lakshmi had changed a few weeks prior to the burning of the temple. My first inkling was that it wasn't him writing at all, but from the tests we have done, looking closely with the ink splotches and the paper fibers, it seems all accurate. And it brings to question, once again, what changed the tone of the father, and why was he not forthright in the information that must have been swaying his outlook on life? And then the final question is, was this also what ended him? These are great questions.
They are indeed. Would the name Hanna-Barbera Inc. mean anything to you?
He looks left and he looks right. It says, yes, we have documents about them. An organization trying to bring down Alabaster's sorts, though they seem to proclaim a different mission. I know they're in direct opposition to Julian's ruling there. Beyond that, I do not have any contact with any members of such an organization, as there is obviously some conflict of interest.
Very good. Understood.
Do you have any questions about them? Maybe I can supply you with some more information to aid your missions.
Well, as it happens, our missions have somewhat evolved, and now we are on the employ of Ironton. Although I suspect that the mission that we undertake for Ironton will ultimately play towards enlightening us in our missions to discover Julian's machinations in Alabast, and perhaps give some answers to the death of Father Lakshmi and the burning of the temple. And they will probably also give answers to many of your problems here. I suspect many answers lie in the mountain, in the mining, the forbidden mining of the ore on this island. But beyond alerting you as to Gloria's intention to have your name besmirched, I suppose this was the most pressing matter that I had come to share, not being sure whether or not this sort of message would have been relayed from our meeting with the king.
Were you able to read any of those besmirching letters or rumors that she was spreading?
I believe I was able to ascertain.
Well, in that sense, I do still have the question. She talked about something in the swamp to the east of here, in the bog, and blamed its rise on me. Now,
that's true, and the rise of evil fungus beasts and corrupting plants, she said.
This has of greatly concern because simply we have not seen that yet. So the question boils down to, should we be expecting something grand and evil to be walking out of that bog and toward us? It seems as if she spread some rumors that she might have had some other cards up her sleeve. We've been monitoring her very closely, and she has not gone that way. And I hope it was simply just a lie and a rumor of fear that she was spreading. And let's pray that so. But on your quest that you are going out for the city, please do keep an eye on the plants, if that makes any sense. And if any strike you of extraordinary evil, especially ones coming toward this city, please let us know, for we can scramble troops and defenses. Or yes,
Gilgrass, that's common? Or could she have been referring to those?
Oh, yes. Gilgrasses are quite native to this land.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
It would
That's
be.
the only thing we've encountered.
They do have some interesting qualities that I wonder if it would be leveraged in a magical capability. Let me note that, and I will continue the study in that area. Now, another thing, now that we're talking, man, talking out loud is very useful. When you're simply reading books, it somewhat steers your thought process a bit. I wonder if, no. Do you suspect there's any connection between Gloria and what's happened to Father Lakshmi?
Well, I would say there is undoubtedly some sort of connection based on the terms in which I met Gloria. I was disguised as an assassin in the employ of Julian, who we know to be an employee of Julian's in carrying out assassinations. And in this guise, she was familiar with me. Therefore, should she not be directly responsible for any assassinations done essentially on Julian's watch, she may be tied into that network of people. However, we don't have any hard evidence that the burning of the Temple of the Lawhammer was done by Julian's hand, only a suspicion based on the time we had spent in Alabast and what we learned about the different factions there.
Because we did discover that Julian and Gloria were basically equals, not one above the other.
No, this is true. In my disguise, I was hoping to discover a connection between the two of them, presuming one or the other was directing them. But this did not seem to be the case. Instead, they both seemed to be aware of each other and working independently, if not somewhat in cooperation with each other, not at least ordering each other. That being said, there was also an allusion made to a greater power that was directing Julian, and I suspect also Gloria.
Now this is very interesting news. So Gloria's outpost here was not simply a satellite nest of a greater beast of Alabast, but you're claiming that there might have been some orchestrator, and that maybe those are both satellite nests of the main hive.
This is the impression that I got in my conversation with Julia, what you were describing.
Well, that takes the investigation to a whole nother breadth of scope. Thank you for this information, and if we get confirmation of any of this is true, as potential heroes of this great town, I'm sure that will lead to further quests. At the very least, will help satisfy some of your curiosities if you come back.
Very good. We will keep our eyes open, and if we see any of these things upon our return, we will surely call upon you.
Before we say our goodbyes, Pablo, I do have a question for you regarding just... I know you're a great wizard, probably the greatest on the island. Perhaps
Beat red.
in your abilities or in your knowledge, is there a way to transfer power from one object to another object?
Oh, well, yes. I mean, there's transfiguration, transmodification, there are many ways. Not to get into the fuzzy details, but it all depends on the use case and the mechanisms that you have available and what type of items are we thinking and what sort of powers. And it all really depends on where the powers themselves are derived.
Well, what if it's just one single part that you want to remove and put somewhere else?
Well, you see, a simple dispel magic would just remove and destroy that.
Not destroyed, moved.
Yes, so it really does depend on the source. For instance, there are blessings, and blessings can potentially be removed with the proper trickery, as the blessing must feel that it is on the anointed individual. If you are talking about some essence of the core material of the object, that, I'm afraid, cannot be moved. So there are a lot. If you have any more information, I might be able to better direct my studies or my answers here.
What about crafting an instrument? Like not so much an instrument, just an instrument, but if a something that would make it a lot of music at one time. Just an enchantment on an instrument that would create a cacophony of sounds all at once.
Yes, I'm sure there are various enchantments that you could find from the vendors in town that could probably do something of this sort. Most likely not permanently without a good cost, as I'm sure there's a market for such a thing. Have you checked around town?
I have not. You were the one that I was hoping would be the one to do this. And
Xander, you must understand, unless this is of great importance, there are a lot of things on the scope of my examination that have to do with much life and death and the issues that you have brought forth to us. So in enchanting an instrument to play some tunes is not in scope of my project, if you will.
What if it saved a girl's life?
I feel like you are not telling me something, Xander.
It's a hard thing to tell.
I understand. There's a lot of these weaved webs are pretty complex. I wish I could help.
Webs are weaved, and necromancy. That I know that's a foul art.
It is an art indeed, who definitely gets a bad name. I will give you that. But generally has to do with those souls deceased or the transfiguration of inanimate bodies. Are we talking about somebody who is dead? Or the object in which the instrument is crafted from? I'm still a bit confused, sir.
It's hard to describe, and I wish I could fully describe it because I know very little, but I feel like there is an instrument I play. Joe, I do apologize, and I will admit this to you now. They are after the one that I have.
Yes, I know, Xander.
The reason I have it. The person that had it crafted. When I hated this person. He's a no talent hack. And when I heard that he was having an instrument created that would give himself an advantage over naturally skilled players, I wouldn't have it. So I found where it was being crafted and I liberated it, or intended to. And as I climbed in and found the tower, I found the body of a young girl. And That young girl was someone that had defeated this man in a competition not a few moons prior. He's vengeful, he's spiteful, and he is evil. I felt like the loot was calling to help it. I took it and I ran. Years have gone by since then, and I feel like I'm still meant to help her. I can't give her back to them. So I won't. If I have to keep running, I'll keep running, but she's not going back to them. He's an evil man. And she was a friend, and she is now too.
Is this the power in which we are talking about?
I believe so.
He takes a big, deep sigh. That would be some magic, and no doubt has some essence of necromancy associated to it, as it potentially deals with the life force of one creature, maybe some sort of necrotic polymorph into another object. This would be tough without seeing and examining it myself, and even if I had it at my fingertips, it would take a while, I imagine, to study the aspects of it. What makes you think she is in there? If I am reading you correctly, Xander.
When I saw her body just discarded in the corner, like, she was deceased, she was dead. But I heard her. Here. Coming from this loot. I still hear her. We talk.
In words or thoughts?
I speak words. She speaks to me. Through the music in my head.
I do not wish to alarm you, but I just want you to know that your suspicions may be true, but this also speaks very much like a potential curse laid upon you. And I don't say that it is. I just want you to beware.
A curse like how?
Well, oftentimes a curse item doesn't want the holder to ever let go. And I have read plenty of accounts of these items forming emotional bonds with the creature in which wields them. Now, again, I do not want you to jump to any conclusion here, for there may be a soul at risk. I'm not talking about your own, but also be aware that there may be a soul at risk and it is yours. These things are rather complicated in themselves. It would take some time and some study. Does this make sense to you, Xander?
It does. I don't feel like I'm cursed. I was actually thinking of leaving her with you.
Well, the good news is I don't think that that would be an initial reaction of somebody who was being wielded by an item.
Don't get me wrong, the thought of losing her terrifies me.
I understand.
But I do know that I believe that you are the best chance I've found so far of someone understanding or being able to help.
If you wish to leave her here with me, on your duration for your quest, I can ensure her safety and examination by those directly under me to better understand the makeup of such a mystery. It's on your shoulders.
I am definitely willing to do that. And where we're going, I don't want to endanger her any more than I have to. So, would it be possible for you do speak with Elamar often?
Indeed.
I will leave it in his possession if you can retrieve it from him.
Yes. I will probably have it in my possession in less than 3 days then. We are all quite busy and can't confirm exactly when that would be. But does she have a name, Xander?
Sonia.
Sonia. That is a beautiful name.
Yes, she was. I thank you. And Sho, you have my apologies. And we'll bid you a good night.
I have much to do. It was a pleasure to meet you all.
You as well.
And you, Pablo. Didn't realize it's muted. Sorry.
All right. Xander and Sho will start the walk back.
All right. Now I must leave to ask, is there anything left to do in Ironton?
Not for show.
No. Darkmaster's ready.
He's all set.
He's had a nice while this is all going on. He made sure he got some rest. We're ready to rock.
Do you smell that, gentlemen? That is the smell of adventure.
I need to make one more animal handling check.
All right. And I think there's plenty of time in the evening. What do you wish to train Conan for this evening?
For attack. I'm going to use the spell slot for Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And train him on attack.
Go ahead and make that roll.
Come on. Daddy needs to do first sandals. Ooh, 24.
Nice.
Success! That is a second success.
That is 3.
Congratulations. Conan now knows attack.
Yes. Yes, Conan.
All right, you all bed down for the evening in Elamar's guest house. What time in the morning would you like to depart?
Say probably a couple of hours after daybreak.
Yes, bright and early for a long day of travel.
Okay. Let's say you get up about 8 o'clock. You are given rations and steeds by the king if you would like. So let's organize how the party would look as you depart the city.
Is there going to be anyone else joining us? Any other dwarven types or?
Your party has a bad alcohol problem, but you can see if the dwarf stumbles his way into your cart as you leave in the morning.
So we'll have at least 4 horses. No.
I believe Show has a boar.
Show rides a boar?
We all had boars. I didn't get a horse?
I mean, you can definitely have a horse from the king. He granted you a steed. Whatever you want.
I'm definitely going to want to upgrade.
Yeah, I'll take a. I've never ridden a horse, but I will gladly take one.
I also will take a horse.
Okay. Show, I don't know if a horse or a boar would upgrade, but we can compare. We can compare this.
There's no more movement on a boar or a horse than a boar?
I don't know. I guess that would probably make sense, wouldn't it?
We were all
longer
boar
legs.
riders for a while there. And Super may still think that the party is called the Boar Boys 2 Men, so don't let him down gently.
Man, I miss that guy.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Super probably would refuse to get a horse and instead is going to ride his... what the hell is his boar's name? Hog Swallop, I believe is his boar's name.
That's a name for a boar.
Yes.
Really?
So he might be impeding your fast travel a bit. But
So there will be at least 5 of us because we will have Super.
Unless the alcohol consumes him.
Unless.
Or the dance.
Or the dancing into the wilderness like he oddly does.
He does.
Strange old man. Strange man. Tiny man.
And we will continue this adventure on the next time on Shoreshack Adventures. We'll see you then.